What is going on, everybody? It is Starkler coming back at you with another Toontown Rewritten video, and I have decided that I am going to be doing a quick recap of everything that was discussed and revealed at this year's ToonFest in 2025. Even though ToonFest happened over 2 weeks ago, they now have recently uploaded all of the recordings they did of the event because they couldn't do any live streaming. And here's the thing, even though this was 2 weeks ago, I had some people vote on a public poll on whether or not they wanted me to make a video doing a recap, and over 97% of everybody decided that they wanted to see me do this. So, you know what? I'm gonna deliver to you guys, and it's time for me to come out of my slumber and talk about everything that came in ToonFest of 2025. So the first thing that was revealed was the yearly outfit code they always do for each year at ToonFest, and this time they decided to give us a special pair of shoes that came in 2 different colors, along with 2 other pairs of exclusive ToonFest shoes that you can only get from a special code card that comes in a limited quantity for physical attendees. So that's always nice that they keep that yearly tradition going because I think it looks really nice on the Toons. And they also gave us 6 new colors to customize both of our Toon carts with for Goofy Speedway, so it's nice to have some of those basic options for customizing your carts. And then they also gave us 6 more basic clothing options for Toons, so again, it's always nice to just have more customization options. It's pretty basic, but it's nice to have. Another thing they decided to quickly throw out was a fresh batch of new Discord emojis, which, I mean, yeah, it's just emojis for the Toontown Rewritten Discord server, so people can use them to express themselves better. I think they look nice, so they're good to have. So for Toontown Remastered, they showcased an updated, revamped version of the Brrrgh, and not only did they update the textures for the playground, but they gave the flagpole on the little snow mound a little animation too. They also improved some of the collisions in the playground and on the streets, and even added in ice skating near the center of the playground on the icy pathway as well. And this also allows for Toons to practice the ice skating mechanic, which can actually be useful later down the line when they start skating around the cold collar cubicles in the Cellbot field offices. So I think this was actually a really good move on their part. Along with updating the Brrrgh, they also remastered the Toons. They actually remastered the textures of every single Toon species in general, along with the gloves, the expressions, etc. And they also updated the sticker book map and gave Toontown Central a whole new look by making it appear in the same art style as all the other playgrounds do. So for those who don't know, Toontown Central was originally just the in-game model render of the playground itself being placed inside the map, but now it's illustrated to fit the look better, so I think that's a good choice too. So they also gave us a prototype for a new Toontown Launcher that was shown and talked about for a little while, and it's going to be set up so you can manage multiple accounts at once and launch them without having to log into each one manually. They'll also be saved right on the launcher itself, so you don't need to type in your password every time you launch the game. You can even customize each account you have with different icons to help keep track of them, and the newsfeed will also show up on the launcher itself instead of being just a wall of text sitting off to the side. There's also going to be a demo mode, which will be a feature to allow new players to try out Toontown without an account, and they can only play in Toontown Central and without Speed Chat Plus. So if you really want to try out the game without going through the hassle of setting up a new account, then this is good for newcomers and other people that want to simply try the game out without getting overwhelmed. And if they want to start playing the game seriously with the new Toon they made, then a feature will eventually be added that will allow them to convert their demo Toon into a full account. So this is pretty cool. I know they got to do a little playtest of that for anyone that was actually at the event itself, so that's a pretty cool thing that they decided to add. Okay, so now it's time for Gags and Gears for Good. So the team briefly went over the success of the Dr. Shirley and Lord Loud and Clear Makeship campaigns that ended back in May, and both plushies sold over 1,000 each, along with with the donation total being over $21,000 to the Child's Play charity, which is absolutely incredible, by the way. I gotta give it to everyone that donated to this cause. And because both plushies reached their stretch goals, they officially started giving out the 2 new trading cards associated with the 2 characters, so everyone that was attending the event got to have some. But that's not all. Because of how successful the plush campaigns were, Makeship actually came back to the Toontown Rewritten team and offered to work with them again. And not only are they becoming partners, they're actually going to be launching 8 more campaigns with them. Yeah, let me say that again. They're actually going to be launching 8 more campaigns with Makeship over these next 2 years. That's far beyond anything I could have imagined. Now, as far as what these campaigns will actually look like, they did offer to show us a few ideas they were working on. However, the first thing I want to talk about is the actual next 2 upcoming campaigns that we actually got to see. So during last year's ToonFest, they gave everyone that attended a Flunky plushie, and the year before that, they gave everyone a Flippy plushie. And now we have come back perfect circle because they just teased us with prototypes for a Flippy and a Flunky plushie that they are doing with Makeship, and they're probably going to launch at the same time. Now, just to be clear, these are just simple prototypes, so it's not the final product just yet, but even though these are prototypes, they still look really good. So I'm excited to see what the final product will look like for these 2, and I hope that the campaigns succeed, of course. Now, as far as the remaining campaigns go, they did tease us with a few concepts that Makeship themselves created. There was a Slappy keychain plushie, as well as a Jumbo Field Office spoiler plushie, which I think both of them look really nice, but again, it's just concepts, so nothing's official or final just yet. Now, Makeship does support more than just plushies, so they did show us a few clothing items that they made concept art for, so it looks like there's a very bright future developing between Toontown Rewritten and Makeship, and I'm overjoyed with how well things are going with them. So after that, they then talked about a new project called the Next Update Project, and the project is a little thing they're doing that's dedicated to releasing small updates to the base game while the team continues to work on some of the larger projects. And what this means is that there's going to be some more smaller updates and changes that will be made to the base game to help improve the quality of life for all players, as well as keeping the game fresh and more replayable as time goes on. So they teased us with 2 projects that they've had in the works for a little while, and the first one was a Doodle quality of life enhancement that allows for you to train your Doodle more efficiently by being able to click on the trick directly in the training menu instead of selecting the speed chat phrases, scrolling down, and then selecting it from the speed chat menu. So this will actually help make Doodle training just a little bit more tolerable for everyone that's trying to max everything out. And then there's also going to be an entire task revamp for the endgame Donald's Dreamland tasks, and this includes the Lawbot suit disguise and the Bossbot suit disguise as well. So it basically means that everyone that's trying to do things like get their Bossbot suit is most likely no longer going to have to go through a bunch of COG golf courses in order to get that 2.0 COG just for the sake of that task that you have to do like 12 to 15 times, and the whole system's going to be reworked to create a more engaging task system. And then they also touched on this like legacy thing where toons that have already participated in the main storyline tasks can actually play through them again in a way, and you get to experience the main storyline again, except instead of getting things like laugh boosts and like cog suit parts, you'll basically be given things like jelly beans, etc. So I mean, it adds some replayability to the game for people that miss the main task line, so I'd say it's alright to have. So there was a lot that was talked about and revealed for Clear Coast this time around. They showed off concepts on how things went from simple pieces of artwork to the full model stage, and they actually showed off the DJ booth, the floaty shack, as well as the Toon HQ and even the lighthouse. So last year they showed us what a simple piece of concept art was for Clear Coast and how it would eventually look like theoretically, and then this time around we actually got to see the first alpha prototype in a little preview trailer, and anyone that was physically at ToonFest got to playtest the new Playground 2, which was really special, and I personally think the playground looks incredible, and there's definitely a lot that needs to be polished and taken care of, including the shadows and lighting for the playground in my opinion. There was also this surfboard that was teased for like this little contest they were hosting at the event itself for people to design this original design that could be submitted and put onto the surfboard, as well as like another like board and like a towel as well. So I think that's pretty cool too, that some of us will actually get to contribute our own original designs to this. I don't think it's going to be anything online, but I think it did happen at the event itself. Also, if you look closely at some of the in-game pictures they provided, I do believe that the next tune-up treasure item is actually going to be lemon slices because of all the lemon trees that appear in the playground, so that's pretty cool too. On top of that, we also got confirmation that Tenor Terrace is going under construction to have a second tunnel that will be leading straight to Clear Coast. So this does mean that Tenor Terrace will be the first street in the game that branches off into separate playgrounds instead of having one linear path. So some of the theorists actually got that right, or at least like sort of right. And they also announced that there's going to be new Gags coming to Clear Coast, with eternal playtests currently happening with the team, including 2 prototypes that they've been working on behind closed doors, and they only told us that the Gags will be giving Toons new status effects since the Cellbot Task Force came out, and either way I'm really excited for whatever it is that we get to unlock in the future. Now the team did say during the Q&A section that Clear Coast won't be coming out this year, which makes me think that it will mostly come out between early to mid 2026 at best. And during the Toonie Awards they did give a brief acknowledgement on the volcano, and here's what they said. What volcano? There's no volcano here. Paid for by the Toontown Department of Implausible Deniability. But yeah, during the Clear Coast reveal there was a pile of rocks and a tunnel leading to it where the volcano is supposed to be, so my guess is that the volcano is going to be added to the playground eventually, and the team just wants to keep it as confidential as possible before the playground itself actually releases. So that's pretty much it for that. And now the last thing I wanted to talk about that was revealed was actually something called the Joint Ventures. Now, while the team was showing off the new pathway to Clear Coast and Tenor Terrace, a new type of cog building actually spawned right behind them, and it had 2 different cog types taking over the same building. So essentially, a new type of cog building called Joint Ventures was teased, and it's pretty much a cog building that will consist of 2 different cog types working together in just a single cog building, and it appears to be pretty high level ones at that, and I think it's a pretty interesting thing seeing more than one cog type fighting a single group of Toons, because some cogs do have their own unique attacks that will help create some really bizarre combinations later down the line, and I think this will also help benefit the Toon task system by being able to complete different tasks that require 2 different cog types to be fought, or 2 different building types that need to be fought, and I think it looks really cool. I'm really excited to see how those play out in the game and how they affect the task system and also the battle system. But anyways, that's pretty much all that I have to talk about for this year's ToonFest recap. Again, I'm super proud of the team for what they've accomplished and shown off this year. This is more content and events and other fun announcements that they made more than any other year that I've ever seen, and I just can't wait to see how, like, just where things are going to go after this. So I'm super excited on that, and also I want to give a thank you to every single person that voted on me wanting to make this video, because I wasn't really too sure if anyone would care or not. But anyways, this has been me. It's been Starkler. I'm super happy and stoked for the future, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later.